Morning, team. Morning. We're back. Monday morning, fresh at it. Hope you guys are feeling good. Some nice trades that set up overnight. But the most important thing right now is to make sure you're coming to these charts feeling fresh, feeling able to trade after hopefully a good weekend of relaxing and doing things to make you feel like you, to get off the charts. All right. Have to come to these charts Monday morning feeling fit and able. We've got a big week ahead. FOMC week, Fed rate decision, some other important news coming. So as always, we're going to start off in the higher time frame charts, all right, in the daily chart. So here we go. Oh, fantastic. Nice start to the day. It's not working. Let's see if we can get this new setup working properly. Bear with me, team. There we go. All right, daily charts. What we're looking at on the daily. Let's turn this right up. We went over this last week. Last week we were expecting what? That drive up to top Bollinger 200 day. We pretty much came into it on Friday. If you look, we got pretty close, didn't we? The Friday high. Taking out this liquidity level here, so he can disappear now. What have we got left now? Not a lot left to aim for. All right, so we have 200 day upward trending Bollinger supply here, 5-day supporting the action. So if we're going to be truly trend bullish, we're going to do this. But what are we likely to expect on the daily after higher low and a big drive up? We're waiting for a pullback leg, aren't we? We're waiting for a pullback leg, which has started to form today. We have an inside bar right now, so you need to be aware. Previous day low, previous day high, we're currently inside. It might want to pull back and just hold this old gap. Very, very possible somewhere in this region here that this market tries to produce what? A daily higher low. If we can do that, it has the ability to drive higher. Now, where would you want this higher low to take place? Well, ideally, you'd want it to protect this area. You wouldn't want it to go lower than that unless it was a quick sweep and a turn inside. Very, very possible. We've seen it before. Oh, this one here. Same thing can happen here. So that's possible. FOMC will be key. That's Wednesday. So I expect Monday, Tuesday action this week not to be the best unless we get some kind of tariff news. We're obviously seeing the tariff news in Hollywood this morning. So yeah, looking for this pullback. And once this finishes, pulling back, looking to join long. Okay, so maybe a Monday, Tuesday pullback, and we can see what happens. Maybe it's Monday, Tuesday inside, Wednesday big dump, Thursday drive. We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see, folks. We're going to have to wait and see. But that's what we're looking at on the daily. On the higher time frame, we can see it nice and clear. Let's have a look at this hourly, make sure these are all set up. Okay, what am I aware of here? I'm aware of a quasi or one of these, right? And if we start breaking down, we can attack these levels of liquidity here, all right? And once we get down there, remember, all of this can still be internal range on a daily because daily is looking to hold what? Much bigger levels. All right, daily's looking, we can get rid of these. We don't need these guys. Daily is pivoting off this. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low. As long as it finds some kind of higher low in front of, I mean, it can come all the way down here, but as long, ideally you'd want it in front of 19,000, somewhere in front of 19,000, then you'd think that the buyers will step in around there. So we have potential for a short rotation back down to there, back down towards those levels. So these blue boxes we've got in, these are pivots where we found buyers before. Okay, this is from Thursday, pullback, broke out Friday, squeeze up. This was the dip on Thursday in the afternoon. Is that right? Yes, Tuesday, Thursday, pullback, go. So we're looking at these three areas today. We have Globex high here. Who do we have stuck currently in this market? Well, Friday buyers. Friday buyers are stuck up here. So that's definitely something I'm looking. Do we sweep Globex, come up here, and then trade back downside? Very, very possible that these Friday buyers become supply for us for that downside move. If we have a look at it on a TPO, we can think about that old value area high somewhere up here, 20,145-ish. Let's just call it 20,150. All right, so if we can sweep Globex and get stuck, that's that old wick there, into that old value area high, we can see a little bit of a volume node there before the old point of control. If we can reject 150, I think there's a trade back down to where we are now. And if we stay heavy, if we break underneath and back test that, then we go next level and so forth. At some point, buyers might step in. All right. If and when those buyers step in, you need to be careful. If we do a morning flush out and then we start reclaiming these, then there's a chance to be bullish, I'd say back above these levels. All right. If we flush and reclaim, there's a chance to be bullish back above those. Why? Because you've got liquidity here, and then you can use that to get up to Globex high and maybe back test that 20,150. So those are probably the two options. If we just stay heavy at the open and we back test, obviously you just keep following trend. All right, but I'd be very careful thinking about getting short down into these areas. I would imagine at some point buyers will step in for a move just internally as much as anything else. What does that look like on the lower time frame? Right here. Right, currently you can see we're just fading off Friday's level. These are where buyers are stuck, that last push. So we said 150, I'd say even up above. What's this wick? Yeah, 150 is good. 150 up to higher day. This is where buyers are stuck. Since then, we're just in a downtrend. So you need to watch this level here. Acceptance above 100, 150. Potential squeeze for the cup fill to go higher. As long as we come up here and find some failure pattern, rejection to come back down and clean this up. Those are the moves I'd be looking for. Same story on the QQQ and the SPY. Exactly the same situation. All right, we're gapping down, and we're gapping down. Here's Friday's close, 4 o'clock. This is settlement. So if you are a buyer Friday hoping for a gap up, you're waking up what? In pain. You're not feeling very good. So if we come up and give you the opportunity to get out flat, I expect them to do that. If we start building liquidity up here, then obviously that short is off the table. Remember, we're an inside bar right now. That's all we are, inside bar starting for Monday morning. But yes, SPY, QQQ looking exactly the same. No change there. We can have a quick look at the mag. Let's remember how I do this. There we go. Let's have a quick look at the mag here together. Apple gapping down, testing Friday's lower day. Make sure you can see all this. Meta gapping down, just tested Friday's lower day, same thing. So it's going to be same thing across the board here. Amazon, the same story. Goog, the same story. Not quite there yet, but there or thereabouts. Meta, where's Friday's low? Wow, it's a long way away. Meta, big squeeze on Friday. Gapping down as well. It looks like just a 50% pullback there. So I'd say Meta, if it holds this level, is actually kind of bullish. Relative strength there. Nvidia, weak. That is a full cup closure versus Friday. All right, so if it builds this out and starts breaking down, Nvidia likely to snap a little bit there. And Tesla, not too bad. Versus Friday low, 2-leg pullback. If it can hold somewhere in here, has the ability to come up here and do that sweep. If it fails there, back down we go. So most of the mag looking pretty similar, I would say. Let's have a look. Clean all this up. VIX. All right, VIX is gapping up. Previous day low, previous day close on VIX. 2260s, 2230s were gapping up all the way into 2418. So $2 gap up. Liquidity on the VIX is sat at 2480 and 2518. We start reclaiming 25s and we're going 26s and 28s. Then obviously we go risk off in this market for a deeper pullback. So one eye on the VIX for sure. And then we got here 4 minutes. Liquidity on the book. Biggest seller I see right now is tiny. Up at 20,075. Not much there really. Book fairly thin this morning. Downside 19,900. Okay. Let's see who's in chat here this morning. Morning, Jesse, John, Jacob up one, Miguel, Jeff, Kaladin. Let's move this over here so I can see properly. Christy, Thumper, Go for Hill, TR, Brandon, Ramus, JD Florida Man, Leron, Lindell, Mike, Minix, Peter, Brad, Aaron, Marek, Donna Smith, Chris, Aga, Array, Bay Trader, Omar, Don Trades Gold, Trentry, Michael Pope, J Bobs, Vince, Paul G, Raphael, AJ, Mindful Matters, BU, Juan Carlos, Phenom, Scott Sullivan, Myron, Tyson, Steve, Moore, John Lucan, Abe, Clint, Indicator, and Stephen. Good morning, everyone. Morning, 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 morning. All right, so hopefully you're all prepared. All right, ideally, I'd love to lean on something short, but I've missed the easier opportunity so far this morning because it all came pre-market. You had two nice trades, I would say, overnight. The gap down, this little push-pull, this move into here, which was strong demand level. The first bounce off this, so the first high-low. This here was a nice trade upside, and then we get stuck, and we're going back down for a retest. Right now, I guess this is the trigger to go up and down, and then above here, we're watching this level, Globex 150 and gap fill close, looking to see if sellers come in somewhere in here. So a short side in here possibly would be nice. Above Globex, ideally, and into sort of those 150s to 200. So that would be nice. If we get a morning drive up there, I'd be thinking about a short. If we start to just consolidate and find bids somewhere up here, then I'm not thinking about the short because then we're going to use this liquidity to go higher. So ideally for me, I'd like a two leg and a fail to come back down, to trade back down to this level and runners beneath. If we start breaking below on retests, I'm looking to add into short until we get down to previous day low. That's kind of what I'm looking for this morning. Once we get down there, if we start to find buyers, then obviously I'll think about bidding this market back up. 1 minute until the open. See what we get here. Do you know what? I'm going to pour myself a coffee. I'm not looking to trade the first minute. Be right back. Look at that. Made it back for the open. Brilliant. All right, people. Let's see what we get. Let's have a good day. Nice and relaxed. No need to rush your way in. First Monday of the new month. Nice and slow here, folks. Currently in a downtrend on the lower time frame. Higher time frame looking to produce that higher low, you would think, on a daily. Here comes the morning drive. Let's see how we're opening up here. Tesla 1% down, Nvidia 1.12% down, Meta 1% down, Google 0.2% down, Amazon the week one today 1.66% down, Microsoft 0.5% down, Apple 1% down. So ideally we get a morning drive higher, which is met with sellers. That's what I'd like to see. Already fluffed my lines here on NinjaTrader. Let's get this morning print in. It will become key, as we know. There's the New York Open. Let's do an anchor off that so we're ready for the day. It won't show yet, but it is there. I'm watching very carefully as well. We know if the market starts reclaiming this lower time frame algo, it might want to come and clean up some of these players up here. It's up here that I'm more interested in being short, really over those levels, if I'm honest. If we start breaking down and staying heavy, can also join the trend. But I'd like a morning drive higher. It would offer the best risk reward. If we can get higher, sweep some liquidity, come and tap into where those buyers are stuck from Friday, I think that offers a nice trade. If we start just breaking down here, can think about joining, but it's not ideal. And what news do we have today? I think we do have a 9:45 print, don't we, from memory? Yeah, 9:45 and 10 o'clock. Morning, everyone. Sorry, just seeing a lot of you coming in here a bit later. Where's my Star Wars background? No. I got rid of everything because I've got a new camera, so no more green screen. Makes it easier for me in the morning as well. Phenom caught the overnight short, was inverted bullish for when I went to sleep. Lovely. Just trading from my house, same as always. It just saves me a bit of morning prep, which is good. Saving time for everything, so I can just focus. There we go, Ninja Trader waking up a bit now. There we go. All right, so very small opening range here so far. We've got 3 minutes in and we've barely moved. Getting stuck in front of the view up so far. But this golden part up here is the Globex high. It's where I'd like to see us drift into, because right now all the sellers are in the money, so it'd be nice if we can take some of them out first. Capped, yeah. Be a bit much, that, wouldn't it? Okay, coming up to test view up here. VIX coming into its gap so far. I want to see how far we can get here. 100, 150, 200, obviously the psychological levels. We're over 20,000 right now, but we'd love that drift into Globex. So far, unwilling to get up there. No buyers stepping in this morning. We're not low enough for them to step in, and I wonder if we're not high enough for any shorts to really come in either. ES into view up as well. Spiders did sweep previous day low here, as did the QQQ. So the ETFs did both sweep previous day lows. I want to be aware of that. See, we've got a long way to go down to get anywhere near PDL on the futures, but on the ETFs, we both swept previous day low. So cash is in the money versus PDL now. So I just want to be cautious about that in general. I've just noticed that. So it's quite a big difference there. Market trying to get going here. So maybe we can get that squeeze upside, and then I can wait to see if sellers want to come back in. That's what I'm really looking for this morning. If we start reclaiming with volume and building out, obviously that thesis goes. Liquidity on the book, 20,075, 20,100 right now. That's where they're sat or waiting. All right, into VWAP we go. Same across all the markets right now. SPY QQQ into their lower time frame algos. There is a chance to come and sweep the pre-market highs here, which is what I'd kind of like the market to do. I'd rather see the ETF sweep the pre-market highs, get stuck in the gap, maybe fill the gap and then find sellers. Don't mind which. I'm looking to lean on this short if it sets up. AJ, are you winding me up? Get out of there with your Chelsea comments. Get out of there. Good win for you at the weekend, though. Good win for you guys at the weekend. Nice to see Palmer back on form. Good for England. Good, always a good sign if he's playing well, I think. So drifting into where we got stuck earlier. These are the levels. Can we get through here? We go to here. We go to here. Remember, we said 150 and 200 would be the back test. 150 old value and 200. I'd love a short somewhere in here. If it like pops and fails for the move back down, that would be ideal. Google now gone green. Remember, news coming here in about 7 minutes. VIX well and truly into this gap currently. So NQ coming to back test the VWAP after popping through it. Does it find sellers here, or is it going to bid up off this now? Just take it nice and slow this morning. Monday morning. 9:45, 10 o'clock. Yeah, probably. I'm just very focused on the high time frame right now. I'm watching this hourly. I really want to see if the hourly can come and take this liquidity up here and then fail. If it takes the liquidity up here and starts to base, then it's got this drive up to here and then it might fail. If it builds liquidity up here, it might not fail at all and keep going. So hourly right now has just rebalanced this candle. I really want to see it get up above here, have bulls start chasing it in, and then start to see it fail if I'm going to get the trade that I want. I might not get the trade I want. It might not come at all, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'd like it to trade upside and then start to fail. I don't really want to bid off this market right now on an hourly. I know we're at a level, but the bid really for me would have to prove itself above and come in strong. More interested in the sells here. I would have just liked that hourly to drive a little bit higher for me first before I start thinking about it. There's some decent volume coming in here. Back towards that New York Open. Back into flow zones. Back into that lower time frame algo. Starting to fail here. Here's the wash. Starting to join this just in case it's going to snap hard. Oh, what's going on here, Ninja? Wakey, wakey. Well, that was odd. In and out instantly. Maybe I'm on the wrong ATM. Yes, I am. That's my fault. Let's move that along. There we go. All right, getting back stuck into this key area. Letting go of New York. I would have liked to see us drive higher there first, but I did just join in here. Instantly took profit accidentally because I was clearly wrong on the wrong ATM. My issue there. So if we're going to start to sell versus these levels, we can think about a trade down into here. If we're going to get stuck here, we can think about that. I'd much rather it went higher first, like I said, but if the volume's going to step in like we've seen here, and they're going to try and sell this, then I wanted to be involved. Obviously not involved now because it instantly took me out for a tiny little scalp. My fault on a Monday morning on the wrong ATM. Starting to roll here though. Starting to see heaviness come into this market right now. Are they going to sweep these lows? VIX finding a bid here. Everything's starting to line up here. If VIX starts to reclaim previous day high, I think we go lower. So everything's starting to line up here. I want to see this sort of kerfuffle. You're still inside the opening range. 3 more minutes into the lower side of the opening range. If pops start to fail, we can Think about getting back involved here, especially if it really starts to shift. Should be in this already. That's unfortunate. Nice early error from me on a Monday morning. Have to wait now. Thanks, Clint. Yeah, starting to fail. Coming down to pre-market lows here. Starting to see heaviness in the tape here. So do we come and sweep out those pre-market lows would be my question, or do they protect it right into that higher time frame algorithm? So if pops start to fail, you get that move. If they keep protecting it, then we can go for that squeeze up and that gap fill, where I'm more interested in getting short higher. Those are kind of the opportunities right now, I'd say. Trading back towards New York Open, back towards New York VWAP. So they've tried to protect this again. ES right into previous day high here. Do they get stuck here? After that sort of sweep of the morning low, I guess. We didn't sweep all the pre-market though. We have left a lot of liquidity there, and NQ being that tricky little person again, leaving liquidity both sides. Opening range coming here in 1.5 minutes. So it's a good save there off the lows. Market's still bleeding though. Tesla heavy, like we said, Tesla was a heavy one today. Market's starting to thin out here for the news, by the way, folks. Reclaiming VWAP, so a little bit of a squeeze here on the Qs. Not doing it quite yet on the ES. Relative strength in the Qs, probably off Google right now. Google gone red to green. Microsoft not too far away from going red to green. Remember, the better short location would be over 150 to 200, ideally, if it's actually going to get up there. I have no idea if it's going to do it, but that would be the better short location. It might not do it at all. News coming here in 20 seconds, 25 seconds or so. And then more news 10 o'clock. Here comes the news. Still just drifting around inside the opening range right now. Nothing's really changed. ES couldn't get above its VWAP. Relative strength in the NQ right now. Market just printing an inside day. Remember, we expect chop when we're inside days. That's what we will expect. What a small range. 68 points here this morning. Nothing more so far in the opening 30 minutes. Microsoft now going green. Google now going green. 0.33% up. Microsoft 0.6% up. 0.06% up, I should say. Apple 2% down. Amazon 2% down. Meta over 0.5% down. Nvidia over 1/3% down. Tesla over 2.20% down. Mixed bag in the mag. Market not really sure what it wants, just sitting inside the opening range. And we've got complete divergence between NQ and ES right now. ES trading back towards low of day. NQ currently bidding around high of day of the New York session I'm talking about. So massive divergence between the two. VIX trying to find a bid to test previous day high. Not what you want to see here. Lack of alignment between the pair. ES trying to break down to low of day right now. NQ trying to break down through the high of day. Just in the New York session I'm talking about. Spiders letting go at previous day low. QQQ bidding above previous day low on the ETFs. Complete divergence here. Total divergence here between the two. Be very, very careful. ES right now is all the way down here. If ES finds a bid, we go up higher. If NQ starts failing and the ES stays heavy, we're going to drag the market down. So you've got to wait here. Big divergence. NQ feels like it wants to squeeze, but just ES not letting it. What are we doing, market? Oof. Oh, this is about as boring as I can remember on a Monday morning so far. So Q's trying to break out here to go for Globex by the looks of it. ES lagging behind. There's your failed breakout of the orb so far. Back to VWAP. ES remaining heavy, back towards low of day. They're trying to absorb it. This market cannot make up its mind. I would estimate that volume today is pathetic based on what we're doing right now. Let's have a look. So Q's trying to break out to the upside. ES back towards VWAP, still not through the VWAP. Nothing to do here, folks. Cannot trade this. I do not trade pairs when they're not in alignment like this. This is dangerous. Someone will get hurt. We just wait here. You have no range to trade right now either. We've not gone and swept the Globex level. We're not at 100, 150, 200 for the ideal short. We didn't break down when it should have broken down. And we've got divergence in the tape between the two as a pair. This is not what you want to see. Nice, Richard. Google now 0.61% up, having a decent day here. Microsoft 0.10% up, rest of the market red. Apple and Tesla very red. ES breaking down here. Are we going to break down here on the Qs and follow it? That's the question right now. Do we go back down towards low of day on the Qs? And if we snap that, are we going back towards 860s? Or are we just going to do a dance inside the opening range and faff around all day? So I'd say previous day low on the ETFs be key here. Here goes SPY, letting go. Back down towards low of day on the ES, finding a bid again around there, not breaking down. Looks like it wants to break down on the ES, but can't. So Google, the only thing holding this market up right now by the looks of it. QQQ bidding off previous day low here on the ETF I'm looking at. Here comes the breakdown starting. ES trying to break down here. Here we go. Are we going to let go here? Here's the ES towards low of day now. Pre-market lows on the ES. These are big levels. It's going to have to make its decision. Qs are going to have to make the decision if they're going to join in here. Starting to see it roll a little bit. ES at current lows, pre-market lows on the SPY. Does it let go of that? QQQ at the previous day low on the ETF. If it starts to let go, it rolls. If it doesn't let go, then they trap and they go upside. They've got to make their mind up here at some point. Yeah, 10 a.m. news, quite right, Raphael. Spiders didn't quite sweep there, did the futures? Futures didn't sweep either. Still continues to trap. My bias would be downside right now, but the QQQ holding previous day low is absolutely key. Google rolling over a little bit here, giving some back. Again, the best short location is higher, but it's not offering that right now. Do short sellers get stuck near low of day, allowing that squeeze higher that we can sell into later? Or are they just going to roll this all together here? That's the question right now, I guess. What are you doing, Mr. Market? Right at that New York Open, just doing the dance. Still in the opening range, no breakout of this opening range. Nothing going on here, just a standard choppy inside day so far. Ay, 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 make your mind up. Make your mind up. VIX back to previous day high. If it starts bidding above this through 2460 is an upside, I would expect some downside pressure in this market. These are important decision points coming. News coming in 6 minutes now. Right on this lower time frame. Algo now right in the midpoint of the opening range. This is just chopping around, building liquidity. Did ES now sweep? Okay, ES did not sweep. Oh my God, it went to the tick. So still leaving liquidity both sides here. Not really interested in this right now. You can just look at pre-market and make it easy yourself. Look at the ETFs, look at pre-market. We're just dancing around and you've got divergence here. Microsoft finding a bid now, 0.25% up. Microsoft starting to drive up. Relative strength in Microsoft. How many times have you heard me say that over the last few months? Beast of a stock. Yeah, waiting for news. Don't blame you. ES getting rejected there again. QQQ still holding on. No breakdown outside of any opening range. No breakout outside of any opening range. Just chopping around right now. Yeah, definitely, Peter. I mean, an inside day when London had a really easy short move. And you got to zoom out and look at those higher timeframes. We are finding a bid so far off that pivot on Friday, where we broke out from Thursday, Friday, at key level that we broke out from, back tested and held. The better short location, like I said, is up at like 150, 200s. Yes, back to VWAP again. News coming here in 3.5 minutes, folks. This is about as ugly as you get, I'd say, so far this morning. don't get chopped up here. Flow zone's trying to hold, VWAP trying to hold, divergence between the markets right now. VIX just rejected previous day high. Maybe they set this squeeze up towards Globex now. I have no idea. I really, to be frank, couldn't give two flying Fs right now, given what I'm seeing. This market is being built to trap people, and I'm not going to be one of them. I will let this do whatever the hell it wants to do, and we can join in afterwards. ATR is low, and it will probably explode once it's got enough of one side trapped, and that might be in this new H1 candle. Like we said, this H1, I'd really like to see it trade up towards 20,100, all the way up to 20,150. That's a better location to think about operating a trade at some point today. Not before then. Opening range starting to break out here now across the markets. ES trying to participate in. Market starting to go green here on some others. So Meta just gone green on the day as well. 2 minutes left. Maybe they get that drive up. It would be nice if they can get that drive up. Might offer it something better for later in the day. It's still just a small range. 85 points so far this morning. QQQ coming into pre-market highs. SPY not there yet. Long way to go for Globex. So another 60 plus points. New H1 incoming soon. Still holding above flow zones, holding above VWAP, holding above New York Open. 1 minute left until this new H1 bar. Globex very, very possible. Once we get over Globex, I'm interested in how we act. So far, holding the orb here on the NQ. I'm not going to take any position until we get through this news and new H1 bar. Liquidity on the book, 20,075 right now. Just going to have to wait. It's a shame. Like, Asia, London had really, really nice trades. We're just going to have to wait. I don't want to play long here into where we got stuck in Globex, and I don't want to play short if we're not going to break down or we're not going to pop up high enough for me to get a good short into. So just going to have to wait. It's as simple as that. Can't be forcing our way. And there's the newsprint. Hello. What is that? Hello, Mr. News. Can't get to Globex yet. Still waiting. Book's very, very thin right now. Just waiting. See what we get once this calms itself down a minute. Here we go. Coming towards Globex now. Remember, over Globex, we can drive up towards 150, 200. That's the better location for a short. That's where buys were stuck last week. If we start basing up there, I'm not going to think about a short. Very, very different. If we start basing up high, I'm not thinking about short because we're just going to put in a higher low, start creating liquidity up there for that move back upside. So I want to be very, very careful. If we're going to time this for that short, I need to wait to see it for failures where buyers are stuck, not beforehand. VIX coming right into that gap now. So we're starting to drift up. So I want this to take Globex out, take 120 out, drift up towards 150, 200, and then can think about if something sets up. It might be possible that my thesis is off. If they're going to bid and hold everything today, It's possible, but I'm looking for those buyers from Friday to remain trapped. If they don't remain trapped, if we bid up and start basing there, then I'm not thinking about that trade at all. All right, so if we start basing up here, we start building liquidity up here, I'm not thinking about it. But if we put in some form of failure pattern, it'd be really nice. So the higher the better, because it's going to offer better risk reward. Right now, I haven't taken Globex out. 122s is Globex. Come on, market, do something. This is probably not quite right. I think on Ninja Trader, I had this at 122 there. VIX into its gap, failing previous day high. VIX can afford to drift lower here, which will squeeze this market up. So I'd be watching VIX into PDL now, 2330s. What was that? Thursday's low, 2330. See if it finds a bid in there. Otherwise, gap fill potential on the VIX, which will squeeze this market up if we're going to keep going, which is fine. Not in it long. Looking to lean short if and when it's ready, not before. Ideally 150, 200s. And then see if we reclaim those levels and we base, not looking for it at all. Expecting liquidity to be built on the daily here. Expecting an inside bar. Do not expect us to continue squeezing upside on the Monday outside of previous day high. Could be wrong. I don't think we're going to do that. I think we print an inside bar today. VIX did just sweep and trading back. Sorry, VIX ES sweeped and trading back inside. Oh, come on. Don't tell me you're not going to get up there. It's going to stop short. It's going to be a pain. Don't do that to me. Back towards flow zones where we just broke out from. I can't believe that. Come on, you got to go and take out 120s. You can't leave both sides engineered like that one, leaving highs and lows. Oh, my days. It's going to do it, isn't it? It's going to leave it. ES back to VWAP. Really want to take Globex out before I think about getting short here, but it's not doing it. It's just melting away right now. Holding VWAP here, back to opening range. Remember, this is our orb here. What did I want to see? I want to see some sort of failure in here, ideally. So I want this to get back above here, take out all these players, and then think about this move, not beforehand. Do I get what I want? No idea, but that's what I'd like. Again, look at the H1. H1's starting to look better. But H1 we're talking about needs to get, definitely take this guy out, ideally into here. I want to short in here, but so far not quite offering me exactly what I want. Heaviness here. Back to VWAP. Come on, mate. Come on. Don't do me dirty. Don't do me dirty like this. Yeah, might be trapping more balls. I want it to trap higher, though. If it's going to trap them, I want it to trap higher. Holding VWAP here. starting to break down. In this small size. Oh, great. My copy hasn't worked. Fantastic. He's off to a flyer today. He's off to a flyer. All right, locking some in there. I'm going to have to trade these one by one then. Oh, how frustrating. All right, if we start to break down, I can add more size into this. But really, again, I'm going to keep saying it. The location I want is over Globex. I want the short up over here. I want these players out the money and then to see this fail. That's an A+. Oh, God, he can't write. That's an A+ trade for me. But the H1 is starting to do a bit of damage, which is good. We did take liquidity on the H1. I would have just loved, I don't know, 120 to 150 would be ideal. Would be ideal. One thing I do want to pay attention to is QQQ is holding previous day low over and over again, as is SPY. Need to be careful of that. Like I said right at the beginning, based on cash, need to be careful of that. Those bulls do not want to let go of PDL on the cash market. So I am aware of that right now. Still just inside, still right at that opening range high. Small size in here still versus 85, but if we keep holding this opening range, I'll probably take it off, to be honest, and wait. If we're going to take, yeah, I'll wait versus 85. Because the better location is higher. Microsoft green, Google green, Meta green. That's your relative strength in the market right now. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Sat here on the opening range high, taking more off here. In fact, I'm going to move my stop into the money. VIX at lower day into its gap, not ideal. ES in kind of no man's land. SPY holding over previous day low based on the ETF. QQQ doing the same. That is strength in the market all the time it's doing that. And they both swept previous day lows on the ETFs. I want to be aware of that mentally. Still just at that opening range high, that 15-minute opening range. We're not snapping down underneath it yet. Had a couple of attempts. Here it goes, trying again now. Still in this versus 85s. There's a bit of a deeper wash. Do we let go of VWAP now? If we let go of VWAP, maybe we go low of day on the New York. If we don't, not interested. Moving stop into the money here, like I said. In fact, I'm going to play that transition at 75s now. Yeah, ugly, ugly, ugly. Just got to see money, take money until it proves here. Like I said, it's a good chance for this market, in my mind anyway, to get up into here before a failure. This is where the buyers are trapped from last week. So I'd like it to come back up here before offering me a short, because then I can cover some in here, hold runners, add on if it stays heavy for this play. So it's just, we're not setting up what I want. We set that move up in London and Asia. Like this here was really nice. This here was really nice. We have to wait for some form of trap now, I would say. Maybe this is enough on the H1, taking this H1 liquidity right here. I don't know. But VIX is trading lower. All the time seeing that, not really interested. Oh, that last wick took me out. Didn't even notice that. Maybe. Let's see. ES still holding VWAP. This is small range here, folks, as well. You're only 125 points. 20 minutes left for this initial balance. That is very, very small compared to what we've had recently. Do not force your way into this. I've had a couple attempts on the short. They're definitely early. I'm now flat. Not in this anymore. ES starting to build here. VIX breaking down, low of day. I'm not interested in shorting this all the time. I'm seeing that. I think we can move lower in general in the market. It's just how high do they want to squeeze it first? None of the other mag look anywhere near having a chance to go green on the day. I would say that. Nvidia 1% down, Tesla 2.82% down, Amazon 1.5% down, Apple almost 3% down. So relative strength in Google, Meta, and Microsoft right now. Everything else considerably red. Are we going to break down here for a right shoulder? Need VIX to really reclaim, let's call it 2380s. What was that transition on VIX on that volume? 2374. Yeah, still above VWAP. We're underneath the opening range now, but we're right at VWAP on the Qs. It looks like it wants to wash here. It needs VIX to turn upside, which it's trying to do. Here's 2380s, like I just talked about. If it reclaims this, we've got a chance. But ES still holding VWAP 4 now. Can Microsoft go green to red? Can Meta go green to red? Help drag this market back down. Otherwise, the squeeze potential is above Globex. Like I said, we've left Globex. It's ugly. Leaving Globex is very, very ugly. Maybe an IB play for me today. It might not be a play at all today, is the other thing to think about, BU. It might be really, really ugly today and chop and chop and chop and chop and chop and chop and open up and present a move tomorrow or Wednesday on FOMC. Remember, we did a big move up last week. Huge move up. Every pop starting to get sold into here, though. For the last, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, every pop being sold into. ES VWAP is absolutely key. It keeps doing this dance. Lots of people trapped in this market right now. Buyers from Friday trapped. Sellers who've tried to force their way in. We've had a couple attempts here, even on stream, even though we're holding all the key levels, which I'm not interested right now. We're holding VWAPs. If we break down, it should be clear and obvious. We should really start to let go aggressively. Pops keep trying, keep failing. It should be an aggressive move down with volume through VWAP on the ES, etc., etc. So far, not seeing that. It's trying over and over and over again. Can it do it, though? ES reclaiming again. Oh my god. This thing cannot make up its mind. Oy. This thing cannot make up its mind. Ooh. This is the better location that I like for a failure above. It's not offering it. Right now it's building this, but it's above this level. This here will be the next level down if it's going to offer it. Until then, I will just stay away. Just stay away and let it build out. I don't care about the news, to be honest, Bobby. I care about The news moves the candles. I care about who's stuck. And right now, you've got bulls from Friday stuck, and you've got shorts from today at New York Open stuck, which is why this is in a battle. Not really thinking about much more than that. Not thinking about much more than that right now about who's stuck in the market. Screen keeps freezing. Oh, it does, doesn't it? Ooh, that's not good. This thing's gone nuts. Yeah, I'm fairly confident it's going to be an inside day no matter what. I mean, look at the range from Fridays. Fairly confident it would be that. VIX still breaking down here. So the better short location is above that Globex level if they're going to find a trap up there. No, it does keep freezing. You're right. Something up with this Sony camera. I'm going to have to fix that. That is a shame. Spent all weekend setting it up. There we go. Have to find out what the deal with that is, why it keeps doing that. All right, back towards Globex we go then. VIX back into its gap. VIX trading low of day. ES trying to get going here. Google red, 0.5% up. Meta 0.5% up. Microsoft 0.10% up. Rest of the market is red, remains red. Still just inside. We're outside the orb now, but we are still inside. Initial balance for another 10 minutes. Inside Friday's price action. If we look left, this is what I want to see. All these guys taken out. We didn't quite take these guys out. I want them taken out. And then I want to see if we find sells versus this really. I'd say this is where buyers are stuck. This level here, 150 and up. If we reclaim that and build out, then I'm not thinking about a short. I'm thinking about maybe they're going to do a full cup and handle and squeeze. But until that point, I'm thinking that these traders here get taken out the market and we offer some form of failure here back down. But right now, this morning, it's not showing that. So we just have to wait. And this was all planned pre-market. So far, dips are holding this morning. Flow zones are bullish. H1 is having an attempt here. It's not easy, I would say. Better off to just wait for a bit. Let this initial balance come. I got a feeling it's going to be a no trade day. I've got a feeling this is going to be a pain. You know, multiple time frame traders trapped against each other right now is why you're not getting the move. I mean, even look at the mag. Look at the mag. It's telling you the story. It doesn't know what it wants. Tesla, 2.82% down. Nvidia, 1.08% down. Amazon, 1.30% down. Apple, 2.70% down. Microsoft, 0.10% up. Google, 0.48% up, 0.5%. Meta, the same, 0.5%. It's not really what you want to see. VIX trying to find a bid here again. That 2380 seems to be key on the VIX over under. ES failed to take out the high there. Q's failed to take the high out. Back to where we last found a bid from here. Back towards that opening range high. About 50s is that? What's that opening range high? Yeah, 53s. Yeah, if anyone knows why would my camera freeze like that, let me know. This is obviously all a new setup since I've got this new camera. It's plugged directly in. I've got like a dummy battery in it and directly into USB. It shouldn't really be freezing. I'm freezing again, aren't I? Wow. Sorry, folks. I don't really know what to do about it. If anyone has a video on it, let me know. Yeah, I can see that. As soon as I click on it, it works fine, but it's definitely keeps freezing for you all. Okay, back down towards that opening range, 53s. 53s is your opening range, your orb high. Yeah, still protecting VWAP for now. Still building liquidity here. Still looks very, very ugly. I don't think so, Andrew. I'll have a look if there are different USB ports. I think they're all the same. So it's like a micro USB out into USB, straight into PC. ES back down towards VWAP here. SPY coming back down towards its VWAP here. If we start letting go of that VWAP, we can go lower. If they keep bidding off it, we're going to keep doing the same thing we've done all morning. Right into that orb here, 50s. Liquidity on the book here at 50s. Not much liquidity underneath, really. Like small offers on the bid. Nothing notable on size here. Now we've got stuck on the camera again. Jeez Louise. All right, I'm going to have to do something about this, aren't I, folks? Such a shame. I tested this last night as well. I'm on the highest frame rate. If it keeps going on, I'll switch to the old webcam, which I already have set up. Sorry, folks. Few technicals. First day with the new setup. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, back to VWAP. Finding a bid on VWAP again. ES finding a bid in front of VWAP again. The chop continues here. Microsoft almost going green to red there. Pop's starting to fail though, but we're still not breaking down. But it looks more and more like Pop's starting to fail here. VIX just going sideways, not making me want to trade right now. Very much feeling like a no trade day at the moment. Oh, thanks for your enthusiasm, Don. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that. All we can do is do this. There you go. Here's a solution for a small amount of time. Raphael, I don't know. What, you show me how you're going to make money in this market right now, because I'm telling you what I'm seeing. Inside bar, H1 swept, hasn't swept all of Globex. Says to me it wants to trade downside right now, but VIX isn't playing ball and ES isn't playing ball. So how are you making money? By all means, you lot go ahead. But I'm not going to become liquidity in this market. If you want to force your way and click buttons, by all means, go ahead and click some buttons. My bias right now is downside, but we haven't swept the upside, which is why we're chopping and chopping and chopping and chopping. Scott, it's Z. Is it ZV1 or whatever? I'll have to get the box out. Yeah, maybe it's going to sleep mode. Didn't do it once yesterday when I tested it, of course. Pop's starting to fail, but we're not making lower lows yet. Maybe it's going to come soon, but it's not coming yet. And still, Globex is intact. 20,000 122s are still intact. All the time they're intact there. We've got liquidity both sides for it to aim for. Microsoft now going green to red. Well, at least green to flat. Google relative strength today. Google is the only thing holding this market up right now. Yeah, it's got to trap people. When it's indecisive like this, it's building liquidity for the next move. I would have rather it went higher before going lower. At the moment, it's showing the inability to do that. My bias is downside. It remains downside at least for a retest. Here goes NQ now starting to break down into VWAP. Does it let go of VWAP here? Do we come and sweep some of this internal liquidity? 28s, maybe New York Open. VIX not playing ball yet for that upside move. ES not playing ball yet for a downside move outside of VWAP. Still holding it for now. Like I said, my bias is downside, but we've left liquidity upside. It's never what you want to see. Not even sweeping these guys out here yet. And this is what we're looking for. At least got to sweep these guys and these guys. Back to the orb high. Through the orb high, ES protecting VWAP. The chop will continue. Like I said, it's going to continue. So forget who said it. Come on, let's make some money. By all means, click buttons. But there's not a setup here. Not in my book. People think there's going to be a setup every day. It doesn't have to set up every day. We had a huge move last week. We already pulled back overnight. It's already done the move that I'd really want overnight. We left Asia intact just about. I don't like that. My bias is downside, but I would have liked a squeeze through Asia highs first. Took London out, but we left Asia. My bias is downside, but we're early. And we're right in the middle of the initial balance now, which is now set. All right, so here's your extremes of New York, and here's you. So what are you trading? This to this, risking this? This to this, risking this? Neither of these are very nice. My bias is definitely down here and below, but it's not showing a willingness to do it. So it doesn't matter what I think. I have to like obey what I'm seeing in front of me. Definitely that 2380 on the VIX remains key. We talked about it earlier in the session. It's remaining key. Can't get back above it. I think we want to go lower. It's just how it's going to get there. Yeah, IB is now set. We just went over at Trentry. We're right in the middle of it pretty much. Market just waiting for the Fed, really. I don't think they can do much. I think we get a pause and nothing else. Still protecting VWAP, still not breaking down. ES nowhere near the VWAP. Google still holding up. Meta still holding up. Rest of the market red. Indecision will continue until we get a strong, decisive move in this market, which we're not seeing. If we're going to break down, we should really be breaking down to the opening range low, the initial balance low through the VWAP if we're going to do it. It's going to have to really prove. Here it's trying to do it and it keeps finding a bid on VWAP over and over and over and over again. There's no like strong kill candle. VIX is still not through that 2380s. ES is not at its VWAP. Now it's trying to be decisive. Are we going to see strong rejections here? We're just at the deep pullback flow zones right now. We need to see like strong breakdowns. If we keep rejecting VWAP on a retest here, I'd be interested-ish, but very hard to risk off this. Yeah, still reclaiming. Have we done that internal sweep yet? Not yet. 30s, 29s and 30s key. What are you doing, market? What do you want to do? VIX still not breaking down. I do not trust this. So breaking down. I do not trust this until I see VIX like really start to push. Yeah, don't be doing that, Ramus. Here's the breakdown. All right, strong moves now. This is what I'm starting to play into now. I want to see it let go of that lower time frame algo. I want to see pops start to fail on the tape. Absorption on VWAP there on the ES. Big levels here. Like decision time on the market coming up. 2020, 20,000, 15, 20,000 offers on the book. Let go of that. We go lower day. That's your lower time frame algo and your New York Open. They're trying to absorb in front of New York Open. ES still trying to absorb VWAP. Like I said, this can keep chopping around. My bias is lower, but I would have preferred we took out Asia, which we didn't. You will need to see pops fail. You want like a drive up to see strong sellers come back in on the tape. So the selling size is small, like 10 and 15 lots. ES still at VWAP. If we start letting go here, we can get going. If Meta's going to go green to red, maybe we get that downside move that we've been looking for. Again, like you would need to see it fail VWAP. You need pops to fail. If they don't do pops that fail, we just trap again and we go all the way back upside again. It won't be very hard to trap given what we've seen in this market this morning. But if we're going to fill this, then this becomes more probable. But maybe to get there, you might see something like this. So I'm on the right chart for you. Yes, right at its VWAP. These are big decision points for this market. Can we start to break down here? We're right at the New York Open, which is odd because on this, so Ninja Traders printed it differently. Fantastic. Where's 30s? I've got a different print on Ninja to what I have here. Here's the breakdown. Going back down towards low of day now. SPY still protecting VWAP. Got to be very careful here all the time you're seeing that. They're not in sync yet. Everything's gone red now other than Google. Google, the only one still green, 1/3% up. Meta doing the dance, holding the New York Open for now. We start breaking under New York Open, a bigger trade can set up. Underneath Globex lows, a bigger trade can set up. Until that point, it can still build liquidity. We are still an inside bar. I want to make that clear. We are an inside bar on the daily. We have left that liquidity high, which is a a little bit naughty of it. Which is what has me worried. If it starts reclaiming here and shorts added in here, if it reclaims this, they get squeezed out, we go back up here. So it needs to stay heavy versus this if you're thinking about entering for this move here and then down here, a new leg down. So far, protecting Thursday's point of control all evening. Decision point. Look at ES. Look at VIX. VIX breaking down now. I ain't touching this when I'm seeing this. I said this is trying to wreck people, and I'm going to let it. I know once we move out of this, there'll be a really nice move, and that might be tomorrow, it might be Wednesday. You can't expect the market to just give you what you want every single day, especially when we've done huge moves last week and we've done a good pullback overnight. It doesn't leave that much for us left on the table. We're playing with scraps right now this morning. It's trap shorts there on that New York Open. Look at the tap into New York Open. Absolutely perfect. They're protecting it. ES going for high of day right now, an initial balance high. Here we go. Yeah, same Tyson. I managed to get a bit of scraps off that and nothing else. See money, take money environment. Flow zones are kind of flat. View up's kind of flat. Lower time frame algo is flat. VIX is trading downside. Never reclaimed 2380s. I'm going to get a refill here. All right, refill on the coffee. Okay, reclaim orb, still inside initial balance. All the time we're inside of IB, we expect chop. All the time we're inside of previous day range, we expect chop. Make this really, really clear for you. I am in my seat. I don't know why this. Know what's gone on with that old camera. All right, here's your old range. We're just inside here. It's still absorbing 5-day. Okay, we haven't swept this side. We haven't swept this side. We're just bouncing out in here, which will set up this move higher or a bigger breakdown under here. Not today, another day in the week probably. So all the time we trade in this box here, it's opening up that move. It's opening up a failure. It's opening up this move here. If it traps, if it leaves these lot trapped, probably Wednesday, Thursday onwards, one of these things will happen. I expect Monday, Tuesday to be choppy here, folks. The chair is the teacher. Yeah, exactly. It's a shame. I just said to my wife, like, I don't know what's going on with this camera. I literally spent so much time this weekend testing it all, making sure it'd be all right for you lot, and clearly it's not. I don't know what else to do. I'm gonna have to do some research. It will be something that I've done wrong. Sorry, folks. I will get it sorted. Reinvest all that money to get a nice new camera and set up, and then have it not working. That's my fault. Sorry, folks. Yes, through the initial balance now, through IB high. Yes, looking like it wants to break out here now. If it breaks out, it's got that gap fill potential. Definitely gap fill potential here on the ES and the spiders. Same on the NQ. NQ now lagging. So you can see how they flip from NQ being the strongest one. Now NQ is the weakest one because it's not getting through its initial balance high. ES has just gone through the IB high and rejected. So like just the constant back and forth between these two should be telling you the story. If we get through this, Remember, the area that I'm interested in is really 150 to 200, or maybe all the way up here. Right in here, if we start seeing failures, this is where I think there might be an A plus short setup. I say A plus, it's probably an A setup because it would be counter trend. Once we get up there, that might offer the counter trend back down. Why up there? This is where they're stuck. So I want to see them reject. If they don't reject, if we start getting up there and just continue to build higher highs and higher lows, what am I going to look for? I'm probably going to look for some kind of bear trap, something that does this underneath a swing low to then go and expand and finish this cup and handle. Those are the opportunities. All right, there's both opportunities today because I don't know what the market wants to do. And by the looks of it, the market doesn't really know what it wants to do right now. It's not really sure either, is it? Biased is lower, but doesn't need to go higher to get lower. Yeah, my OnlyFans page is not going to give me any money today with just a ghost in it, is it, Andrew? Oh, what's gutting is honestly, I put so much time to get this set up. I was so excited to have the new setup for you all. I thought it looked really good, but then the camera fails. All right, it's trying to build out to go higher now. Absolutely clear as day that it wants to try and build out to go and take the liquidity higher now. ES starting to join in. You see a nice breakout on ES on that last VWAP hold. ES starting to base at its initial balance high now. Yeah, exactly, Scott. They don't care, do they? They're just here to ruin our life, get in the way of work. All right, a lot of activity starting to come on the book here between 20,060 and 20,100. So I'm going to wait. I am going to wait now. I don't want to trade in the middle of this range. It does look like it wants to come and take out that initial balance high to me, but it can also offer lower highs. I'm just going to wait. I really don't want to be trapped here on a Monday morning. I don't want to start my week off like that. Just going to be patient. VIX, by the way, came down into that level we talked about, that Thursday low. What did I say? 23.30s. We tapped into what's low of day? 23.28. If it doesn't find a bid here, it can fill the gap all the way down to 22.67. It's possible. Yeah, Sod's Law. That's what we call it in England. You're right. Sod's Law. What will go wrong can go wrong. Sod's Law. Yeah, exactly. Relative strength in the ES. We just talked about it. It's basing above the initial balance high. It's looking to trade higher right now. Starting to look strong here in the ES. Microsoft 1/3% up. Google 0.5% up. Meta 1/3% up. I just don't trust anything right now. I mean, it had the opportunity to do it, Raphael, and didn't do it. It held a bid at New York. We're just inside of the initial balance. Remember, all we are is in a range right now. Here's our IB. Here's previous day low. Here's previous day high. We're just condensing. So this was the old range from Friday. This is the new range in Monday. That's all we're doing right in the middle of that. This is not good trade location. It's why I'd prefer some kind of short up here to take this down. I need my RR to be favorable. I've had a couple of attempts at it and it hasn't worked out. So, you know, maybe a lack of patience from me as well. ES back towards initial balance. This is its breakout retest. If it can't hold this, we get a failed auction. Where does it go on a failed auction? ES would go back towards VWAP. I'm just not interested right now. This is not calling me, this market. Look at everything flat as well. Lower time frame algo, VWAP, New York VWAP, flow zones, deep pullback flow zones, everything fairly tight. It's trying to do this. I just feel like up here can be a trap. So I don't love the longs personally, even though it's this does look good, I'll be honest, for a move into here. Yeah, don't blame me, Peter. I think that's a fairly wise decision here. Just make sure you're being patient. Do not be forcing your way in with this. What is the range so far this morning? 125 points, and most of that range is, I would say, basically from 97 to 30. Most of the range today is a 60-point range. That's not what I wanted to do. Most of the range today and volume is in here. Failure outside, failure outside. This is coiling. This will give an explosive move when it's ready. Boring, I know. Sometimes trading's like this. It's just how it is. Yeah, still basing above its initial balance high here. Building out liquidity here. They will use it one way or another. Flow zones are all bullish, but we're still just inside of range right now. Just trying to respect what I'm looking at. Nothing's changed. Sorry, quiet here because I'm not interested right now. I'm not going to trade inside the initial balance today. No way. Right now, it's building for an upside move. Don't want to join this long. Got nothing to risk off. If ES starts failing, they can dump this instead of drifting it upside. So just all the time with 50-50, I haven't got an edge. Not looking to trade a 50-50. Not looking to just press buttons for the sake of it. What a bore, man. What a bore. Should have traded London and Asia. I'd love this to go and take out 120s before I think about doing anything else. I'd really like that and make my life much, much easier. Much easier. All right, for those interested, Traderfire have extended their sale until the 15th of May. All right, still 40% off for new customers, 30% off for everyone else for every single type of account. Again, I always think about the growth accounts there. Take Profit remains on sale, 30% off for life. No activation fee, daily withdrawals. Nice and easy. And I've also launched a bundle sale on the Flowzone Pros. All right, so if you want to get the course right now, 20 hours, 40 modules, plus Discord and TradingView Flow Zones, plus the system indicator for NinjaTrader for lifetime. You can get everything in there for $999, saving you over $150 right now. Get you set up exactly the same as everyone who trades with me. Probably the best deal I will offer with that. So all available right now. You can go to flowzonetrader.com. Links are down below if you're interested. As the ES continues to hold the initial balance high, continues to try and build a flag for that upside move. It's what the ES is trying to do. Heaviness in the market is coming from Apple and Tesla. Tesla almost 4% down now. Apple 3.11% down. Nvidia just under 1% down. Amazon just under 1.5% down. Relative strength in the market coming from Microsoft, Google, and Meta, all dangling between 0.42 and 0.53% down right now. Up, sorry. Jesus, Alex, Jesus. Meta, Google, and Microsoft just around 0.5% up. So that's where the strength in the market's coming from, those three. Holding flow zones here. It looks like we're going to go and take out that initial balance high and the 120s. Remember, the 120s is the Globex high. 122s, I think it is. 122s, 123s. We get through that trade up to settlement, basically 200s. I've been watching 150 to 200s when we get through that. That's where I think people are stuck. That's where I'm more interested. If we're not going to do a bull trap into 150, 200, it's probably not going to be a trade day for me. Yes, definitely been a nicer trader this morning. Into its gap now on the spiders, above the pre-market highs. I'll be watching SPY for a trade into 566.25s here. If it's gonna get going, 566.25s, your old VWAP into 566.75. That's where it will find some supply if it finds some. So almost New York high of day here on the NQ. You really want to see it get above those 122s. It's lackluster. I think the volume must be tiny today. It doesn't feel like we're moving. So coming up towards Globex now. Can we get through Globex? There we go. There's Globex taken. Finally. Okay, so watching this now. Next level 122s and then watching 150s and 200s and looking to see if they trap bulls up there. If not, can consider a giant cup and handle if we really think we're going to take previous day high. I really find it very unlikely that we're going to do that. More likely that we're going to find some failures, I think. Let me just think about this in terms of a fib as well, so we can get some confluence on here. Yeah, 150, 160, 200s look good. What's 50%? 120s. All right. Somewhere up here. Somewhere up here is good. Gap fill is here. Remember, I'm not looking for this long. I'm waiting for this just because I think it's a little more probable today, but happy to be wrong. Won't attack it front side. Initial balance peaked through there, failing on it right now. How long we got? 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes until a new H1 bar. There's that old, yeah, 150 looks really good. A trade into 150 looks good if we fail up there. It doesn't look good on the book though, I'll tell you that much. I've gone blurry now. God, I'm having major tech issues, aren't I? I'm going to go for a bathroom break. Be right back. All right, still no change. Lackluster. 125-point range. peeking through some of these Globex levels. 150, 200 is maybe where it can go to. If you're long in this, that's what I'd be looking for. But you're coming into some levels here where we keep getting stuck and you're starting to sweep. So 150, 160, I really like the look of. If we can get up there, sweep, and then start failing. But right now, I have to respect what I'm seeing in front of me. We're inside range, but bullish. We've been bullish this morning, holding that New York Open, holding dips above the opening range into the initial balance. And a little bit messy. VIX is getting hammered here. VIX is going for that gap fill. So don't want to be thinking about a short right now at all with the VIX doing what it's doing. Trading under 23s right now. Remember, we were looking for the 23.80 break to give confluence for a short in this market. VIX now at 23s, so sub 23s. Definitely not interested in a short right here, right now. Messy, messy, messy. Like the footballer. Messy, messy, messy. Nothing to do. You got to learn patience, when to trade, when not to trade. This is not a trend day for me. We know, what does Alex like? Outside bars. Traders stuck. Clear direction. One side to aim for. That's what I want. Higher day Thursday, yeah, on that bar where we pushed up and failed, but we've already traded through it today. Definitely not going to guess tops. I'm not going to fight the tape. The tape's saying upside right now. VIX is trading downside. Tape's saying upside. It's not offered me what I want. If I'm going to flip long, it's going to have to really prove itself because I'm very concerned that there is a bull trap up here between here to 150, 200. So I want to be careful, but more probable is we're just going to do some nasty, choppy day from what I've seen so far, or at least morning session. Nice, Tyson. Very nice, mate. Very nice. What bar did you buy? You bought that 1040 bar on a 5-minute. Oh, JD, I'm not talking about the push through upside. I'm talking about the downside. We already traded. We opened up above and traded down under it. I see what you're saying. I was talking about the other way around. We already traded under it and starting to recover to it. But I see what you're saying. I still think I want to see a bull trap higher. The danger with this is if they want to do a gap fill. I have to get a jumper here. Feeling a bit cold. Oof. Right, let's see what they're doing here. Is this news or is this a sweep? Right, got absorbed fairly quick, didn't it? I don't see any news yet. Bessant's talking though. You want to be careful with that. Talking about the Trump tax legislation will prevent Main Street tax hike by making small businesses deductions permanent. I didn't have him scheduled today, so I missed that. I don't know if he was, if that's in the White House or is just a press conference for CNBC or something stupid like that. All right, so far we've swept the initial balance high on the NQ, finding some fails underneath right now. That rotation can take you down to VWAP if they're going to fail it. ES is still above the initial balance high. VIX starting to find a bid here at 23s. Still nothing I like here. Yeah, Besant's talking for sure. So that last wick down being absorbed versus RBS. Still being absorbed. I want to see something like this. I'm not getting involved until I see that for a short. So far, longs are in control here. Absolutely in control still. The US rejects Japan full exemption from reciprocal tariffs. The US would consider lowering the 14% Japan tariff. I don't know who said that. It's not giving a quote there. Still holding on here, market. Still looks like it wants to come and take out 22s and then 50s and 60s. Book definitely thinned out a little bit there. Some days are like this, folks. You got to learn to sit still. If you, like I said, people wanted to click buttons, by all means, you do you. But I want to take high probability setups. It's not offered me what I want to see today. Back to flow zones again here. Stuck underneath the initial balance. The problem is the ES is still at IB. It's still above IB, sorry, I should say. Still has the ability to go higher here. You're not in sync in terms of positioning. SPY can trade all the way up to 66s, 566s. Let's see where NQ is at. Still think NQ can, or QQQ can trade up to 488s. Still think that move is possible in QQQ. Even if it doesn't do a gap fill, still got a higher move possible if it wants. But right now it's getting stuck at that initial balance. VIX back to 23s. It just feels like this market isn't sure what it wants to do. Are we breaking down here? Are we absorbing that same level? We're getting stuck at the initial balance. Remember, if we fail IB, the normal trade from IB will be a rotation to VWAP and then either here or back down to IB low. Still early for this move. If you're fading the edges, you can, I guess, risk this on a fade, but there's nothing yet proven in terms of structure. For me, this is still bullish in terms of structure until it proves otherwise. Very, very boring day. Trump tweeting some stuff from Fox by the looks of it. Some businesses are back in the driver's seat thanks to Trump and his belief in the American worker. All right, just fluff. There's absolutely no information there. We remain stuck here. 20,100. Initial balance above. ES still holding initial balance high. VIX still under 23s. This is still bullish in terms of structure until it proves otherwise. The taper's starting to get really, really thinned out here. I'm not sure what's going on here, if they're just worried about a news tweet or something, but there's no liquidity really until 85's downside and 125's upside right now. I don't know if they're about to do a move here. watching this carefully. What are they doing on the book? Something's going on here. Bid at 85, only small, 14s. I think this is going to be the lowest volume day we've seen for a while. Pop's starting to fail there in front of the initial balance. We're still bullish in terms of higher time frame, but Pop's definitely starting to fail there. ES is still holding on. Yeah, you can see the Pop starting to fail here. I'm just watching the book as they start to pull orders. I'm not sure what the game is here. ES still in front of that IB high though. If we're going to rotate on NQ, we rotate to VWAP. If they're going to do an IB rotation day. Again, they have left some liquidity up at 22s. A little bit awkward. We're technically still bullish all the time we're holding these pivots. Feels like a bit of a game going on here. Yeah, you're seeing Trump starting to post more and more and more here. Be careful, folks. Now he's talking. I had a good, productive telephone call with Turkey's president. They invite me to go to Turkey at a future date. He will be coming to Washington. I look forward to working with him. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing important there. I don't know. ES back towards its IB high here. Finding a bid in front of it, finding a bid where it last found a bid at 1050. If we fail to make a new high here, that will be telling. If we make a new high, obviously you get your break of structure, you go back upside, continuation long. But if ES fails to make a new high here, it will be telling based on the liquidity it's built in the last 10-15 minutes. Still haven't completed the gap fill on anything yet. There's still the opportunity for a gap fill in this market if it's really going to send it. Rotation to VWAP is possible if they keep rejecting up here, if it fails to make a new high. No position right now. Looking to see if they're going to do a rotation here, back down towards VWAP. ES starting to let go. If ES lets go of initial balance, I'm going to be more convinced about this move. Yeah, still holding on. VIX trying to reclaim 23s. I just don't feel convinced on anything here. I think I lack edge in this market right now. Hasn't come up to a level where I think it can really trap bulls. ES is still holding. Yeah, ES is still holding in front of initial balance. This is ugly, ugly, ugly to think about anything right now. Just because if you think about them as a pair, they're not lined up nicely. They're not trading in sync well. This is where we last found a bid from. You can see it. Bottom of that orange box. We found a bid from here. If it wants to find a bid again, we continue higher. Let me draw, please. If we want to find a bid again, we continue higher. If it starts failing here, this is possible. Well, at least down to VWAP. It's possible. But ES is protect. The problem is ES is up here right now. It's above this. So in terms of alignment, you have none. Absolutely none, which is why I'm not too keen on this market right now. And you've also got Trump tweeting away a load of bollocks right now. Do they do the rotation? Still absorbing that same level. 80s. 80s being absorbed. Big over under, I think. Oh, fix at 23. Still hasn't completed its gap fill, which is possible. I just got no edge. Absolutely no edge right now. Inside initial balance, inside previous day. Probably going to be just rotational chop day, but can you find a good edge to play off? That's the question. Can you find it after it's swept liquidity and trapped one side? Right now, we haven't done any of that. Is this a pullback to go higher? That's the question versus that old pivot. Is this a pullback to go higher, or does this get stuck? Failing to break out of the high will cause this move down to here. Break out of the high, you get that squeeze 50s and 200s, I'd say. Those are the options. They've been the same options all morning long. China is the biggest piece of Trump's trade puzzle. Oh, Besant, you're a fucking genius, mate, saying something like that. You're so smart. Obviously, do these guys say anything useful? If ES fails to make a new high here and starts letting go of the initial balance low, it might be the start of the IB move back down. If we reclaim IB, though, 150s, 200s, I could keep saying. It just can't make its mind. The book is ugly, folks. Like the amount of orders I keep seeing being put on and pulled, which are tiny size. The liquidity today is not very attractive. The volume today, yeah, is low. Look at the difference. This is low volume. You can see it already. I reckon we finish the day with very low volume unless we get some sort of news or breakout that affects the market. Mag continues to be a mess. Tesla 3.72% down. Apple just under 3% down. Amazon 1.18% down. Nvidia 0.68% down. Meta 0.42% up. Google 0.36% up. Microsoft 0.34% up. It is a mess. This mag is a mess. Nothing's aligned, so I'm not interested. Here we go. So ES held a higher low. It's trying to make a higher high now. If we break that, maybe finally we take the 122s out, which I've been waiting for all day. I don't know why this is down here. It should be at 22. Maybe finally. There we go. 22 is now taken. So does it go 50s now? Talking about those 22s all bloody morning. $130 suddenly come on the book here. Offering at 130. Again, it looks massive. It's a 30 lot. Book's thin. Book is thin. So 22's taken, Globex taken. Where are we trading to now? Are we going 50s and 200s? Full gap fill. VIX still holding 23s. No, it's not a bank holiday in the US. We wouldn't be here if it was bank holiday US. I know Europe's got time off, but not in the US. Everything's still open. It is Cinco de Mayo. 5th of May. Oh my God, I just want to go to sleep. This is really boring. It's starting to feel like shorts are trapped. I'm going to be honest, because it's a slow grind up based on what? Market's not green. Mag is mixed, and we're slowly grinding up. It's starting to feel like these shorts are trapped. I want to have a bull trap, though. I'm not looking for a bear trap today. So maybe I'm just off on my analysis today. Time will tell. Back to the IB. Do they hold the IB here on the Qs? IB is at sort of 10s or 11s. You get a failed breakout of IB again, we go back down towards VWAP. If they hold the IB, that 150 and 200 is doable. Range so far on the session is like 140 points or something. This is what it used to be like. I think we got spoiled with the volatility in bigger range. Besant's still yapping. Mate, just shut up. You're not saying anything useful right now. Another politician that loves the sound of his own voice. Who'd have guessed it? All right, back to initial balance here on the Qs. Massive levels here. They start failing IB and they start breaking down. I'm still don't trust a short. I'm going to be honest. It feels like shorts are a bit stuck here. Even though we've taken 22s, I still think like it needs to trade higher first. But if it's going to break down and do the IB rotation, then we go to the VWAP, don't we? We know that rule. Starting to fail the IB. Does ES find a bid where it just broke out from 88, somewhere around there? That's the question right now. No one on the bid here, and there's nothing, but there's no liquidity below to aim for. This is what I'm finding weird. It is a black hole below. There's nothing there. The only liquidity on the book is up at 130. This is like awkward. It's got nothing to search for. So either they slam it or they run straight back up to 130s because there's nothing below for it to go and find. This is what I mean. Like, it feels like there's a few games going on today. Look at the liquidity on the book. Now they're starting to put some bids in. Weird, mate. Leaving that much space is weird. Are they going to slam them here? I literally have no idea. It feels like they might be about to. Got a small piece on now. If they're going to do it, I'll join in. Just based on the book. There's no one on the book. First flash on the book just coming in now. If you're going to do that rotation, I need to see a breaker structure here to the downside if they're going to do it. Already being proactive here. Counter trend. It's an IB play. I don't love these plays. Not my favorite plays, but I'll lock some in, pay myself some money. There's a small lot, 20 lot at 80s, protecting 80s. All the time we're underneath initial balance, if we're going to create some kind of failure in here. Really? In here? All right, this play becomes possible. Clean up these people here. All right. This is what I'm playing for at the moment. Reclaim IB, then I don't like it. I feel much better if ES starts letting go of initial balance again. This is the hardest thing right now. Holding deep flow zones if you like. You're going counter trend against the flow zones. Yes, I'm just playing the initial balance play. It's a rotational play. Very different to a trend play. I'm playing initial balance back down towards VWAP. Looking for a break of structure. It's got to break 180 to help me here. Really want ES to join in. VIX starting to get going, which is what I want to see. What I don't like on Bookmap is when I see these big black holes. You'd think they'd be useful because we'd slam through them, but they actually, most of the time, it means the market won't draw towards it because it's got no liquidity to aim for. The market loves searching for liquidity. If there's nothing there, it doesn't draw towards it. See, now they've left a hole from 110 to 130. They've completely emptied it out. There are games, I'm telling you now, there's games being played today. This is not what you normally see on a book. Backing off this now. I'm just going to let this set up. What are you doing, Mr. Market Maker? You're doing something. This would need to fail in front of 110. Need to fail in front of 110 to offer a lower high, and then you'd need a lower low to come and sweep the liquidity out at 80. You're going to have to take a partial out into 80 like I just did the last move. Reclaim 110. This trade is no longer valid because you're reclaiming initial balance. Remember, you're just playing an edge IB trade. That's all you're playing right now if you're playing it at all. And remember, the ES is not joining in with this. So it's very, very hard, which is why I'm very small size, counter trend. VIX filled that little volume imbalance on a 5-minute. Anyone watching that just traded up to 23.11 all the way up into that volume imbalance, 23.17s, and got slammed there. 5-minute flow zones holding as well. Ooh, don't like what I'm watching. You know, I'm going to move my stop further down. I don't want to even give it too far. Sixes here. How does it act here? If it reclaims sixes, it should reclaim initial balance and I'll be out. ES looking strong. VIX can't make its mind up. Almost knocked me out there into 110. My stop's right at that IB. Trying to respect it. Trying to play this. It makes me uncomfortable, I'll be honest. I don't like these plays. Generally don't like these plays. And my least favorite plays in the book. Long 100. Yeah, if it flips it, I think you look good. If it takes out the IB, you should just go and squeeze straight through 120. I'll be knocked out then. So far, holding under the IB. ES is the key for this, I think, right now. Decent rejection there. VIX trying to get going. Reclaiming 23s. Want to see it trade through 23.20s all the way up to 23.60. Here we go. Looking for this break into 80s. Want to get some off on that break of 80 if it comes. Again, ES still holding above IB. Need to respect that. Being very, very cautious because of it. They can just sweep and turn straight back inside if they want. Here's 80s, trying to get a little piece off here. If we fail this, we should get down to VWAP really. Can't get a fill down there. That's annoying. ES still on top of its initial balance, folks. ES is still above IB high. Here goes the VIX, 2317. It's trying to fill that little imbalance gap it had. I want to see VIX trade all the way up to 2360s, really. If we keep finding bids here, I'm going to get out. Do not want to see it keep finding bids here. I want to see a flush. I want to see ES trade underneath IB. Do not want a base on IB from the VIX, from the ES. I'll get my words out again today. I hate these rotational plays. They're not comfortable for me at all. They're the opposite of trend. ES, again, holding on top its structure here. It will not let go of the IB high. If ES keeps holding that, I'm going to get out of this. Looking for that move down to VWAP, from the IB high down to VWAP. Need ES to participate. If ES will not participate, this will not work. They are unwilling to let go of ES right now. Oh, why is there news coming right now? Oh, I hate seeing that. Besant just needs to shut the fuck up, man. Just stop talking. No one cares. Come on, get under 80s. Yes, back towards the IB high, still absorbing. Bids on the... Yeah, bids here into 75. Should get that move through 80s to 75s at least. Should allow me to get something off here. And if we fail that, I'm looking for a trade down to 50s because that's where VWAP is. Well, is it 60s maybe? Come on, give me that fill. Don't tease me like that. Oh my God, really? Yes, right on IB high right now. Really? There we go. Thank you. Locking some in, stopping the money. Just want to be careful because if they want to flush here and reclaim it, this would be the trap to go back upside. So locking some in. Sub 50s, like I said, there were offers here into 75. Some of them got filled. If we get through 75s, we should go 60s and 50s. If we reclaim, we're going to go upside. Watching ES. ES is key here. The IB is key here. Said it over and over again. I don't love these plays. These are not my favorite plays, but they are a setup. These are probably my worst setups. But there's your peak above IB high. This is your failed auction. This is your rotation. It should try and get here. The problem is ES is still up here, trying to go upside. I can show you what I mean. ES is above IB. See, it just swept. ES has the ability to do this. I'm looking for this move down here. This is what I'm looking for. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone. It hasn't been easy today, but there are setups here if you're willing to, or if you know them. If the IB rotation play on an inside day is not your setup, don't take it. It's my worst setup. I use the least size on it. I hate it. But I know it's a play, and I know I can make money from it when it plays out. $80s now. ES back to that IB again. Can we get fails? They need to charge. Come on. Come to VWAP for me. Come on. That's that 75 order that I talked about. Yes, absolutely key here. Remains key. Yes, now getting a closure underneath the initial balance. This is better. I want to see a flush here. Down through 70, straight down into these VWAP. 63 and 53s targets for next positions. Want to be careful because this is where we broke out from this morning. But looking for this down into here. Fantastic. Finally starting to play out. Jeez, it took a while. Here we go. 70s now. Let's keep going. Again, moving my stop down, locking in some money. It's like a counter trend rotational play. You have to be careful with these. Cannot be holding for a huge like trend type of position. It's not the same as playing trend. Don't know if any of you caught that with me, but it's not easy. Like we said, versus this into here. TP's here. Runners would be all the way down here if the market really melts. Nice. Yeah, good discipline, Miguel. It's good discipline. Yeah, I don't blame any of you. These are really tough plays. These are tough plays. My entry, I started entering here and here. All this. Once the kill candle came, the volume. Once we failed this was a failed auction. So I enter risking this, adding into this, looking for drifts into this. Not big size though, tiny size because these are not easy. I'm gonna leave my limits out here. Let's see if I can get a fill down here while I use the bathroom. Oh, up we go. Yeah, it's trying to reclaim its IB here. So again, same levels applying. Nice, Scott. Not an easy trade day, this, folks. Like, initial balance trades are not easy. But once we took the 20s, that was key. All right, this level here, we had to take this out. Once we take that liquidity out, I feel better about this rotation, which is why I entered. Is the Sony camera now working, is it? Fantastic. All right, do we break down here and actually go for VWAP, or do they find a bid here? ES starting to reject its initial balance. This is some fairly key levels structural wise. That last pop-up sold, which is important. Meta and Google starting to give a little bit back here. They're still up, but they were 0.5% up. They're nowhere near that now. Meta now 0.20% up, Google 0.11% up, Microsoft 0.33% up. So they're pulling back, helping this market find a little bit of weakness. ES still doing that dance around the initial balance. It can still trap here. I hate the look of ES at the moment to hold on to this. So my biggest danger right now is that. If we're going to flush here, we should come down to VWAP. We need to start breaking down here. 75s now. Get under. Go and give me that breaker structure down towards VWAP. Here we go. Come on. Ugh. Very close to taking this off from watching ES. Very close to taking my runners off right now. Do you know what? I'm going to move into 92s as a stop. Right on this transition here. Don't want it to reclaim that. Reclaims that, I would imagine, would take the high out. So that would knock me out. Yeah, ES reclaiming initial balance high. Not what I want to see. ES needs to stay heavy versus 85s, basically. Even though it's at the IB, I guess it can afford to backtest 85 based on structure. There's a bid on the takedown at 55s now. 70 lot. How long we got till lunch? Only 15 minutes. God, what a slow day this has been. Yeah, you're probably right. Dow and YM's 0.04% up. RTY 0.26% down. NQ 0.54% down. ES 0.44% down. Here goes the ES. It's trying to reclaim, or it has reclaimed. This is going to knock me out on the runners if it takes out 92s. I feel like ES is trapped there, reclaiming IB. ES testing that 85s like we just talked about. Reclaim of 85, ES goes higher day. Fails 85, we still have a chance to do a bear flag and move lower. 85 25s here. There or thereabouts. There, knock me out. Flat now. Starting to reclaim flow zones. ES reclaiming that 85 level that I talked about. So if it finds a bid here, ES really should just go up to 89s and then 92.50s for a new high of day, because it's traded underneath the initial balance, reclaimed it, and it's going to squeeze everyone out. That's why I was saying, like, as a pair, they're not trading very nicely together. They're going to make it very, very hard. You have to be on the trigger, see money, take money, move on. Not an easy trading session, folks. So if you haven't traded today, you've done well, I think. This is, remember what we talked about. There's your low, there's your high. That's Friday's range. This is today's range. That's it. Oh, sorry, here. It's nothing. So if you haven't traded, I think you've probably made some good decisions. Really? You're not going to do it now, are you? control on the day, 91s, value area high, 107s. I just don't think there's anything else for me to do here. I don't even think I'll come back in the afternoon. This is garbage. $12 minutes. Yes, just hanging around those 685s that we talked about. Still on top of the initial balance high. It still has the ability to go higher if it wants, if it's trapped enough. QQQ doing the dance between IB high and VWAP. Hasn't tested VWAP yet. Relative strength in the ES in terms of its positioning at the initial balance. Here is starting to flush. I'm rejoining this now to see if I can get a break of structure of these lows to go back towards VWAP. Don't reclaim 75. Don't reclaim. Oh my God, really? No follow through. Come on, give me something. This is all on ES holding the IB higher here. It's my last attempt. We either go lower or I'm out. I want to see this flag on the VIX play out for an upside move on the VIX. Yeah, chop, chop, chop. You're right. It's choppy, choppy, choppy. Looking for that breaker structure to the downside. Looking for ES to let go of the initial balance high, which it's on right now. If it puts in a higher low, I'll be out. I'm out. Not playing that. Can always add back in if I want, but I do not like the ES. The ES is the big problem for me. If the ES was comfortably underneath the initial balance, I'd be all right. But it's not. So I'm trying to respect it. All right, have a look. You'll see what I mean. You'll see the difference. This. All right, this is the 85s I talked about, where we broke down from. There's the trap underneath. Look left. This is like a nice level that we broke out from. They are holding this. This can do this. This is why I'm watching the ES. It held initial balance on that last move. If ES failed, I would have held on. The moment I saw it hold, I was like, I'm not holding NQ. Because if it builds this quasi, if it starts to get back above this, ES is going to go up and it's going to drag the market up with it. And I'm not willing to give back any money today. BU, yeah, you used to get caught in it. Hopefully you don't anymore. Hopefully you don't anymore. The IB really helps, doesn't it? Like I said, I hate trading the initial balance, as in an inside. Trading IB rotation on an inside daily bar is really tough. It's my least favorite trade. That's why I size down in that more than anything else, because I know I'm not the best at trading it. But when we have an outside day, an initial balance rotation, it can be really good. Yeah, good for you, BU. Ay, ay, ay. We're probably done here, folks. I'm not trading. I'm not trading this into lunch. 8 minutes left. So let's go over what's available right now for those that are actually interested, those who haven't done the course. The Flow Zone Trader beginning to advance course is available right now. 20 hours on demand, 40 modules, plus a lifetime membership to my Discord and trading view flow zones that you've seen me trading with today for $649. If you just want the system, the flow zone system indicator for NinjaTrader, 1 year is $299 for a license, or you can have lifetime for $499. And if you want them all together in a bundle, you'll save $150. You can get everything there for $999. Everything available right now, flowzonetrader.com. And that's what I use to trade, folks. Everything you've seen me do today, all the entries, all the ideas, they all are taught in the course. Not an easy trading day, like I said. I've sized right down today. I've not green, red on some accounts. Unfortunately, didn't copy everything perfectly, which is a little bit upsetting. What are you going to do? So I'm green on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the accounts. One didn't get copied at all for some bizarre reason. Maybe I left it off. And the others are very slightly red. So I'm up 543 on 1, 273 on 1, 105 on 1, basically flat on 1, 50 on 1, and then about 100 down on 9 of them, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Small red on some of them, which is fine. As long as my red days are smaller than my green days. If it had copied properly, I'd be up on all of them, but it's fine. Oh, yeah. Any questions before we get off, folks? What a boring day. Sorry, I can't control the market. Very, very boring. Let's make this green so I remember it. Once we reclaimed, I mean, the easy trades were all here overnight. It's such a shame. Everything versus lower time frame algo, view up. Head and shoulder, lower time frame algo, view up, trade down. Down, down, down. And this morning we get this. Ugh. Gross. So if you traded Asia or London, you probably had the best trades of the day. Just a range day. Those of you who are range traders, maybe you can find something today. It's not for me. Why is Besant still talking when his press conference finished? What are you doing, mate? Why is it that every single member of the government loves the sound of their own voice? We are very close to some deals on trade, maybe as early as this week on trade deals. With who? Great sentence, worth absolutely nothing. I'm highly confident that 17 trading partners, excluding China, have presented very good trading deals. Yeah, because China doesn't need to trade with you. We could see more frictionless trade from these negotiations. All anyone cares about is China right now. Literally no one cares about the other countries. China does the biggest GDP in the world. It's all anyone cares about, especially the Mag 7. So I'm not interested in what anyone says until we start dealing with the China issue. That's what's going to dictate the next quarter and beyond. No, Omar, the NinjaTrader indicators are different because they're a bit more complex than what you see here. And they will print absolutely everything for you every day. So all you need to do is come to the charts. but they are available in that bundle. Nice, CC. Good. Well done. Well done not trading it. We're just continuing in this range. ES is still finding bids above the initial balance. NQ is still finding offers below the initial balance. We're still trading in range. You've got 2 minutes until lunch. I mean, even if you want to look on the higher time frame, even if you just think about this right now, we're rejecting near enough old value area low, but we've created a value area high and point of control here. I mean, it's just messy. So you're not seeing like a drift up into this being rejected for a rotation. If we keep basing here, it's going to allow liquidity to be built for this move upside into here. This is where I'm really interested in a short, somewhere 150 and up. I said, didn't I? 150 here. This is where I think if a short's going to set up, it will set up. If it won't set up a short there, it's going to set up a long. And you're going to be like, why it's so different? We built this liquidity. We've traded down, up, down, up. If it doesn't set up something like this, then it's going to build this liquidity to set up to take out this old high. I don't think it's going to do that today, not unless something majorly changes in terms of news, because there's no volume in this move. I know there's volume here, but I mean, in today's session, it's not like we're seeing a big drift higher, but I know buyers are trapped here from Friday. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking to see if I can get a short here back down, or that's what I wanted to see. We're not going to get it now. Back down to sweep some of this level, bottom side of the range, to then bid back up later in the week. What I was looking for is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. But maybe we're not going to get it. Maybe we're going to get the opposite. Maybe we're going to get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see. Time will tell. Discord only available for students. Can't afford the course yet, but want to get in the club any way I can. Yeah, Discord only for students. Unfortunately, it's for good reason. The amount of Discords I've been in where people don't trade in the same direction, haven't learnt the same ways, and it just causes the inability to trade, basically. So all the students in the Discord, they've all learnt the same setups, so they can help each other, support each other, call setups up when they're there, call setups out when they're there, and also support each other when they ask questions, because they've all learnt the same stuff. Alibaba in at 100, looking at in at 100, adding at 70, looking for the move up. So you're DCAing in for the move up. Maybe you get it. 120, 130. Yeah. Well, that would be high day if you get it. ES is looking good for you. I think if you get 120, 130, you should get 150. You know, really should go and close this gap. If it's going to do this, it should really come up into here. 150 TPO and then into here. Because what I was looking at earlier was this. This value area high, 150. And this wick low. This is where the buyers are trapped. So I was wanted to short that, but we just haven't got up there for me to short it. And I don't really fancy the bid up into it. But you do, and that's okay. It makes sense. You are producing. That was a trap. This looks good for you into this. I don't disagree with what you're doing right now. We're underneath the IB, but the ES is about to break out higher day. So I don't disagree with what you're looking at right now. Especially if Besant's saying anything positive about China, which I've not looked for the last couple of minutes. Let's have a quick look. We're into lunch now, folks. I'm about to get off here, but let's just go over this. Okay, he's finished talking CNBC now. God. China's only offered what they said publicly. We could see substantial progress on trade with China in coming weeks, maybe as early as this week on trade deals. I mean, that is a positive sentiment to say, but time will tell. Any way to get the Course Plus Ninja Trader for 650? No. Sorry, Omar. The Ninja Trader indicator alone cost me like significant time investment and money. I appreciate what you're saying, but not... I just can't. I'm really sorry, dude. Totally understand what you're saying. I'll just lose so much money on it. It took me like 3 or 4 different coders to get it done over, those of my students in there will know, multiple years. And it does a lot. It basically replaces everything. The Ninja Trader indicator will print your previous week open, high, low, close, and settlement. Your previous day open, high, low, close, and settlement. Your opening range break based on whatever time frame you want. It will print your orb. Your initial balance, your lower time frame algo, your higher time frame algo, your deep pullbacks, your flow zone momentum cloud, and then your buy and sell indicators, and will offer you a color encoding system so that you don't fight the trend based on candle structure. It's like it's so powerful. It's too cheap where it is, but I like it like affordable for people. You can buy the Ninja Trader indicator without having the course. I just don't know if you'll know how to necessarily use it. Pat, yeah, there was a discount for like a month, which ended at the end of the month. The first month was significantly discounted. Posted it in Discord. Even set a reminder to everyone to let them know. It ended on Friday. Ended on the 1st of the new month. No worries, Pat. Drop me a message on Discord. All right, market's not doing anything. Nothing's changed. You are in 130 point range in this New York session. You are drifting higher. The ES is drifting higher. You have relative strength in the ES right now versus the NQ. I'll give you a quick readout on the mag before we go. Tesla, weakest one in the market, 3.86% down. Apple, the next one to follow, 2.87% down. Then Amazon, 1.46% down. Then Nvidia, 0.67% down. And then you have the greens. All right. Microsoft, Google, and Meta all around 0.5% or just over 0.5% up. All right. So that's the battle. VIX still hasn't closed its gap. Still just basing around 23. Possibility of a double bottom here. I really don't love this, what I'm seeing in this market right now. It's very, very hard to position yourself. I would say it looks like it's trying to drift up. So if you're playing NQ and you're already long, you're looking for a partial through this 22s, whatever it is, the current highs, 24s, drift into 150, that old TPO value area high at 150. If you get through that, gap fill closure will take you into settlement of 195. So just call it 200s. Looks like it's starting to do it. Yeah, John, definitely will. All right, team. I'll be back tomorrow. Those in Discord, I will pop in later. But currently, right now, nothing I absolutely love. But again, I would love a bull trap to play into. But we're not seeing it today. So I don't want to force myself into this. If it's not going to play out for me, then I need to be aware of that. I wanted a big push out of the morning move, big squeeze up to then sell into. But we didn't get it. So let's just see what we get later. Hopefully I can get my camera sorted tomorrow so it works properly. Until then, please be safe, use hard stops, all the usual stuff. Peace and love.